game. The history doesn't matter to Pat Mahomes, but if you can feel the energy in a stadium, is that a real thing?
The energy in the stadium is a real thing, but what's more real is what is the history of either the players and or the coaches. So I was also with Dennis Green. I was with Buddy Ryan when they were trying to get their first playoff win. Philadelphia's organization hadn't had playoff success. Minnesota hadn't had playoff success in the Super Bowl.
Right.
But they had plenty of other years where they won some games in the playoffs. So it's not the same as Kansas City.
Got it.
It's a different set of pressure. But we knew the pressure was on Denny Green. As far as an African-American coach trying to get his first playoff win, Randall Cunningham trying to help him have playoff success. So those things become real. Now, being naive is not an excuse. All right, because that's what happens. You play the first half of these games, man, you are naive to what really playoff games about. And then in the third quarter, you're like, wow, how many possessions are we going to have? So how you get started in this game and the rhythm and getting your rhythm early is a great point that BART makes.
Nick, do you think that Patrick Mahomes feels this pressure? He seems to play with this like reckless abandon. He's had a great year. I know he gets a little nervous at the beginning of games, but maybe more Andy Reid, but do you feel like this will fall down on that guy?
I think it is impossible to predict how someone's going to play in their first playoff game. No one would have thought that no one thought Peyton Manning was going to be a different guy in the playoffs in the regular season until we saw him in the playoffs, right? No one would have thought that Tom Brady was going to go the other way, be a different guy in the playoffs in the regular season until we saw him in the playoffs. And so I have faith in Patrick Mahomes because he just had the best season of anyone in the league. I don't think the Chiefs' history will affect Patrick Mahomes, but I do think I would be lying to you if I said I know for a fact that Patrick Mahomes is going to play this game the way he would any other game. What I do know is where he hasn't had, there's only been one game all year he actually truly struggled, but there's been a handful of games where he wasn't sharp early. They were all road national television games. Now the stakes are the highest in those spots. I know this game's not on the road, but it is national television. It is the biggest football game he's ever played in his life.
Yeah, when you talk about those two, though, I think the reason why they struggled, it's all based on support. The quarterback is the focus of the organization and the focus of the team. But if you don't support the quarterback, Peyton Manning, why did he struggle in the playoffs? Because the defense could never support him, and they couldn't have a running game. So he wasn't supported. Tom Brady, when he got into the playoffs, he was wondering, what is he going to do? He was supported in the best way we've ever seen a quarterback supported. That's one of the reasons why he's been the most successful. The guys that have multiple Super Bowl wins, they have been supported. So the question is, Jenna, how much are the Chiefs, this offense, the motion, the speed reverses, are they going to miss Kareem Hunt? Because I believe that now, with a running back like him who's special, that they will miss him in this game.
Well, the competition's better, right? Just think, I went to the playoffs and went to three consecutive AFC championships, but two with a rookie. And it's because we slowed the game down for him. And it'd be interesting from the Chiefs standpoint. Most guys like to defer because they like to have options. They like to know what they need to get, and they like to get the ball coming out the half on the opening kickoff. It'll be interesting to see if Kansas City wins the toss. Will they want to elect to keep the
about this matchup as far as the Colts defense, because one of the reasons the Colts are here is because since they started 1-5, they have the #1 ranked defense in football. I'm just going to read you guys names real quick. Derek Anderson, Derek Carr, Blake Bortles, Blaine Gabbert, Ryan Tannehill, Cody Kessler, Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott, Eli Manning. That is the complete list of quarterbacks who have faced the Colts during this stretch of 12 spectacular defensive performances. Played Blaine Gabbert and Deshaun Watson twice. That's why there's only 10 names instead of 12. And so the point that I'm making is this Colts defense has been very, very good. It has been very, very good against all of them except for Deshaun, below average passers and some of the worst passers in the league. They are now facing the best passing attack in the league. I want to see how good this Colts defense, that zone scheme, goes up against the quarterback who has shredded zone defenses more than any quarterback in football.
Yeah, but look at us on the other side. Let's look at the Chiefs defense. Take out the elite quarterback. Let's look at the bums. The bums have looked like Hall of Famers against that Chiefs defense. So I just believe that we would be missing part of the story. That Chiefs defense will play a part in this year's storyline to who wins Super Bowl 53. And for me, I believe that defense prevents them from winning the Super Bowl. How many games can they win? Can they get there? That's yet to be seen. But we have not seen a defense with an offense like that been able to hold the Lombardi Trophy.
And even when the Colts were notoriously bad back in the day, that defense played great during the playoffs. The game's going to be won in the trenches. Because to protect that Chiefs defense, that pass rush is going to have to be elite. And I know Bob Sutton. Bob Sutton was my linebacker coach. He wasn't as aggressive as Rex. He still has a lot of the same system that Rex has, but he doesn't have the pieces. So I think he's going to go with that bend, dope, break, hoping that his pass rushers can get there, or they can get you behind the sticks early. The thing is, with the offensive line of the Colts, they rarely get behind the sticks because they are always able to fall forward and go forward with Mac because that offensive line is so elite. So that's where it's going to be. Can you steal and run blitz early on if you're the Chiefs and get them behind the sticks to make sure that second down is a throwing down that you know that you can prepare for?
That it's 2nd and 8, not 2nd and 5.
I believe the key to the Chiefs is how many times can they get off the field actually on 3rd down? How many times in the red zone can they convert instead of giving up 7, only give up 3? And every time they create a turnover, it's like gold. Because if you give those extra possessions to Patty Mahomes, so even if they're not good as far as yards per play, even if they're not good as far as yards, in the red zone, if Indy gets to the red zone 6 times, can they hold them to 3 and 3?
Yeah, that's 30 points, but they'll take it. That's 30 points, but they will take it.
And there's no other team going out there that has that luxury to say, hey, you know, the Saints don't have that. The Saints can't give up 30 points to Philadelphia. Kansas City and Patty Mahomes is the only team that can really look at that realistically and say, we're straight.
We'll take it. Every time the Chiefs force a kick, it is a huge win, even if the kick's a field goal. A punt is obviously a win, but even if it's a field goal, it is a win. What is if you tell me right now, someone that might have bet on the Chiefs this weekend, would you take the Colts scoring 30? Yeah, if it's exactly 30, sign me up.
All right, Phil, guys, quickly. It's Friday. The game's this weekend. You're a guy like Patrick Mahomes. You got butterflies. Do you not?
You do.
Of course you do. You got to.
That's why you have to get in that rhythm and you got to run the ball
You
early.
don't get nervous?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
No, I get butterflies, but that means something's on the line.
It's a good feeling.
Want that. All right, Bart, stick around.
No,
Coming
it ain't
up.
no good feeling.
I get this. It's like
Here we go. When I'm time I open your mouth.
It's like
every time I'm like, oh, Jen, I see the eyes twinkling.
Always had an all-star team.
It's like when you have one of your cheat days and everything.
Go. That's not happened yet, but I'll let you know when it does. Do Nick Foles and the Eagles have any chance of upsetting the Saints next? First things first.
Those butterflies when I see Jen, I'd be like, guys, real quick. Oh, no.